What up, YouTube? Josh Coovey here. It is March 24th, Monday. Been slacking lately. Been trying to at least get an update out every week, just so I have it. Good for the history, whatever. Kind of see where my thoughts were, things like that, and hopefully, I can look back and say, "Wow, I've progressed a long way." So, right now, a couple updates. I have been last week especially, I have been going pretty hardcore with the fasting. A few days I pushed the fasting to like 9 and what I did was I'd work till about 5 6 p.m. I came home, I took a nap, and then I would work out. Honestly, around 5 6 p.m. is when I get really hungry, which is a fine time to eat, obviously. Nothing wrong with that, but I was really trying to push like maybe the OMAD style, like the one meal a day or like a meal and a protein shake, just to kind of explore to see how I felt. Um, and with that, so I would like take an hour nap and then I'd go work out, like 7 to 8, 8 to 9 ish. So I did have a couple days where I was eating like maybe like a meal, just like honestly, I've kind of been all over the place because I've had the calories to play with. I think one night I had a protein shake and a Subway sub, which isn't, it's not ideal, but the calories were obviously low. So like, you're going to be losing weight, but you do want to make sure you get some high quality protein in those meals. It was, it was probably like 40, 30 grams. It was a chicken sub, and then the protein shake was like 80 grams. So like we're not really in 120 140 grams, still not going to lose muscle, especially when you're when you have a lot of fat to lose. You're probably not at risk of that, but obviously the lifter in me always wants that protein to be higher than lower. So but I did see some tremendous I saw 321 on the scale, which for me was awesome. So now I'm trying to really keep things similar to last week to take that momentum. I really want to see 319. You get to those benchmark weights. I've been 325 for like several weeks, and I've been seeing 326, 327, 324. I weighed in last week after work at like 323 fasted, and I was a little scared to weigh myself because I was thinking, well, I was fasted. Usually in the morning, I'm really not. I haven't been seeing lighter weigh-ins because I just end up being, but I saw 321 the next morning, which was a completely new low. I think the last time I was 320 was like 6 years ago, which is a little scary to be honest. But I'm hoping to blow right through this 320 benchmark. So today, worked till 5. I did a quick leg workout fasted, which I just got back. So it's 7 p.m. I'm cooking some rice right now. I did 150 grams. To give you guys an idea, I think that's like 500 calories of rice, all from carbs. And then I have two chicken thighs, like just cooked from like yesterday, the day prior. And I have some corned beef actually too, like really just a serving. So I'm going to eat those two with the rice. And then I'll probably do. I'll probably cook. I have some chicken thighs de-thawed. I'll probably cook some more so I have them. Do one more meal. So split the rice between those two. I'm probably looking at like 1,400 calories. And then I'm going to do a protein shake, just like 2 scoops of protein. I ran out of egg whites, so I use an extra scoop of protein to compensate for the 25 grams I would use there. And I'm out of frozen fruit, honestly, because I've been fasting. This has been pretty cool. Fasting's great for a lot of reasons, but I didn't really think about the saving money portion. But I really haven't grocery shopped in like two and a half, 3 weeks. I just have a bunch of frozen meat. I like picked up $2 a pound, $3 a pound, and I've slowly just been de-thawing it, 1 or 2 meals a night. I have rice. I have pasta noodles, which I'm kind of trying to stay away from for the time being. Because I have kind of, as soon as I started weighing those pasta noodles, I was like, I'm getting a little too many carbs in for sure for the 1 or 2 meals I've been eating. So right now, just kind of embracing the fasting life a little bit more so than I ever have. But it's been good so far. Like the workouts have been good. I've noticed, so I usually can't get the same amount of reps, but the strength is the same, if not better. I think part of it's because I haven't had as good as a pump as I normally have. Even though today I actually did have an amazing leg pump, hit legs fasted, so that was good to see. But like my back day, things like that, I kept the reps a little bit lower, which for a lot of people is probably high. Like that 8 to 12 range, I was seeing a lot more. Um, but I think like a few of those machines, I had the stacks. I had a couple plates on. So just making sure, like, I'm not worried so much about the volume, even though the volume is relatively high for an average person. But I do want to make sure in this fasted state I'm training pretty heavy, which seems to be good lately. It's been really good. We have a just a shoulder like a shoulder press machine. It's plate loaded. I would say typically, 3 plates is kind of heavy. 4 plates is kind of like what the bigger guys will hit. But I did 4 plates for 8. So plate loaded. So pretty heavy. I mean, that's 180 pounds each shoulder. So, and a lot of times, like, especially if I have a shoulder issue, I'll do like 3 plates for like 15, 20 reps. So I'm not always playing around with a 4 plate. So I felt good to hit that fasted after like, 20 hours of not eating. I was like, hey, this is good. Not really worried about the intensity there. So if I'm hitting 4 plates and then I go and fast, I'm hitting 2 plates. That's an obvious issue. You might want to check like your sodium intake, your potassium intake, make sure you're hydrated. But typically I can only speak for a bigger guy like myself. The strength really shouldn't be dropping anything crazy. So, with that said, if you're a skinnier guy and you're trying to really push the weight and the strength gains at a gym, there's no reason for you not to have a few meals in, make sure your hydration's perfect. And fasting, of course, you want your hydration perfect anyways. So, but yeah, just for me right now, it's definitely the body fat is a priority, just to get down. The micro goal for the week is to see 319. Another thing I did last week, which, I did a few things and now I'm like, well, I got some results, so let's keep it up. I had a few days where I was at like 9,500 steps, 9,000 steps. So a little bit over that like 8,000 goal I've been kind of shooting for. So I'm trying to continue that. I think even being even a few pounds lighter, it's feeling like it's been better. So yesterday I did my first real, sometimes I'll get up to like 3 miles on a treadmill at one time. That's pretty much where I draw the line, because I just get my steps in throughout the day. Like I usually don't need to do more. But I did do 5 miles yesterday, which took me like 100 minutes, 20 minutes a mile. So an hour and 40 to hit that 5 mile. But that felt great. I was at like 12,500 steps or something on a Sunday. Also my off day, so hey, great, didn't hit the gym. So kind of explore those steps a little bit more. And all that's just going to accelerate the weight loss a little bit too. And also I was fasting about 5, 6 p.m. yesterday. Had a family event to go to, so I knew I was going to be eating I wanted to make sure I had the activity in. But still ended up pretty good with the day. We had pastrami sandwiches. That's not really the word. A Reuben. We did like homemade Reubens. It was awesome. My uncle made it, and that's kind of where I had the corned beef from today. Just the corned beef. So, but yeah, everything's going good. So those are my goals to increase, to keep the fasting pretty strict. Like I think for a while around 5, 6 p.m. I'd get my first meal. And now if I can push it to like 7, 8 and just get 1 or 2 meals in, that's like one meal plus a shake or whatever. That's awesome. And we'll just kind of see what's up, but I would love to see 319, and then just keep the ball rolling a little bit there. So, besides that, I mean, the energy I have noticed, like chores around the house, things like that, I've kind of been slacking on. I don't know if that's really tied to just me being lazy or the fasting, or just being busy. So that's something I'm going to kind of keep an eye on, obviously. But, like if you're real busy, you have kids, things like that, I mean, you want to be able to have energy for them, things like that. But with that said, like being 100 pounds overweight, you're going to have a lot more energy losing that 100 pounds, obviously. So whatever you need to do, great. And lately for me, it just seems like fasting's been a good route. Anytime I start I dive into anything. Sometimes I go keto. Sometimes I've gone vegan for a few weeks. Bodybuilding style, multiple meals, high, low fat, high protein, moderate carb. I always kind of jump into whatever resource I'm excited about. So I did listen to Dr. Jason Fung's book on fasting last week. Just kind of reinforce a lot of those fasting principles. For me right now, though, I kind of like the 1 meal a day kind of thing, or 1 meal a day minimum. So I'm not really ready to take the plunge to like multiple day fast. If as long as the weight's going down, great. Or if I need to swap it up and like go back to like a very normal, structured, healthy bodybuilding diet, that's fine too. But right now, it seems like the fasting's good. I enjoy my workouts fasted right now. It's been great. Something in the book was like when you're fasting for a long period of time, you get like adrenaline pumping through your body, which I kind of feel at the gym. Like that's a very terrible and non-scientific explanation of what's going on. But I do feel pretty wired up, and a lot of times like. Have great conversations at the gym, things like that. It's not a problem to say hi to my friends that I see there, or just talk to them in general. So, but yeah, right now, March 24th, so far, so good. I have stuck to fasting a little bit more than expected, honestly. But, I saw the weight drop in the scale. I've kind of noticed a little bit my physique, a little bit. So overall, we're just gonna ride with it and see what happens. But yeah, hopefully in a week or two, we see. Honestly, the weight loss is right where I want to be right now. So I can't be disappointed if I don't see that like 319 for at least a week or two. But yeah, I would love to start saying, hey, 315 is the new normal, things like that. So, but yeah, right now we'll just keep at least. Monday through Thursday is when I do I've been trying to do those later fast. Friday, Saturday, actually Friday, pretty much all week I've been fasting like a normal 5, 6 p.m. But if the weight's dropping, I have no problem on the weekends. I am going up north this weekend, so I have some flexibility there. I'm going up with some cousins. So if they want to eat breakfast, my weight's down. I have no problem eating breakfast on Saturday. So obviously, you don't eat like an asshole, anything like that. But so far, so good for me. I don't, it's a good trend, and that's nice to kind of have some hope going through. If if your why, I don't even know the phrase, but if you're seeing the results, usually the work's pretty easy. So, a little bit of hunger pains throughout the day is no issue at all. And honestly, I've been drinking a bunch of black coffee and haven't really even noticed it. So, it is funny. I'm like 7 o'clock. Is this too early to eat? Which is absolutely not. So honestly, I'm kind of a late night eater anyways. So I do think it would be better to eat between 7 to 9 if I've already lifted, which today I was able to get a quick day in, or a quick leg day in, compared to eating, say, at 10 and going to bed at 12. I think eating at 7, because then you're fast. Instead of your fast starting, an extra 2 hours the next day, it's just starting 2 hours early before you go to bed. So I think that'll help your sleep quality too. But, if I work out at 8 and I want to train fasted, I'm getting home at 9:30, eating at 9:30, whatever. Either way, it's a net positive compared to what I would be doing elsewise, or what most people would probably be doing. So yeah, but March 24th, appreciate you guys listening. Just another rant, and hopefully next few weeks we see some more results here. But quick flex here. I don't know. Are we worried about loose skin? I am, but it's a little silly because first you got to lose the weight before you get the loose skin. So, but appreciate it. Thanks, guys.